Hi, and welcome to Old School Blues Guitar. It is time finally for the acoustic lesson for the months of July through September 2018. I had a request for Barbecue Bob's Going Up the Country, which is really kind of a tricky tune. And it took me a long time to go through this, and I still don't know how much I've got figured out accurately and how much I'm off, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. First thing I'll do is I'll play a little bit of it. I am tuned to an open G tuning, and I've got a capo on the 2nd fret. Now if you listen to the original tune, I'm sure Barbecue Bob's got his guitar tuned higher. And if you want to duplicate, like play along with the record, what I had to do was put the capo on the 4th fret. And I'm not sure what I'd be playing in if I did that. If I put it on the 2nd fret, I'm playing in an open A. And I was able to do this and still be able to play the high slide part that you'll hear. And I tried it without the capo, but it just doesn't have that same feel. Now, I think Barbecue Bob also used a 12-string. And there's a fellow on YouTube who plays a pretty nice version of this using a 12-string. And I can't play a 12-string with the bottleneck yet. Still working on that. So I'm going to play it with the standard or a 6-string guitar and an open G tuning with the capo, open A. So this is Barbecue Bob's Going Up the Country. I'm not going to try to sing this, I'm just going to play it. So here I go. So that's me just playing around with Barbecue Bob's Going Up the Country. And now what I'm going to try to do is break the song down in parts and show you what I think is going on throughout the song. I didn't play it exactly perfectly. I forgot the sequences in a couple places. I just tried to play everything that I'm going to show you here. Now the beginning, the introduction to Barbecue Bob's Going Up the Country. What I hear is we've got the open tuning. I hear that chord at the beginning, so I'm using my ring finger on the 7th fret of the 1st string. I'm just going to use the fret numbers as though the capo wasn't there. So 7th fret of the 1st string, I'm strumming down with my thumb pick on my left hand. And then I'm going to go to the 4th fret of the 4th string. This is what I think's going on. I have no idea. Something like that. And then open. Then back to the 4th fret of the 4th string. Now he's strumming all the strings from the 4th string on down. So I got something like this. I think pretty close on that. And then what he does next, it's hard to tell. I think he either does something with the slide, something like that, or he may just go back to to that chord, and then he does something like that. So the slide here, that's how he starts out the tune. So let's do that one more time slowly. Something very close to that. You can listen to that if you want to figure that out note for note. So the opening, not sure about all of it, but that's what I've got. And then the main lick that he plays throughout the song. Let's break this down. And this is where I think I've got it down pretty good. So he's open, and we've got this 5, 4, open on the first string. He uses that lick to start it out. And then I hear, with this bend on the 5th fret of the 3rd string, and then the open 2nd string. So let's put this together. And then right here, I hear an open 6th string and an open 5th string. So that whole first part of that main lick, you listen to the original recording and see what you think. I'll tab it out the way I hear it. And then you hear this. Something like that. And I tried to figure this out. What I think he's doing, he comes from this, open 6, open 5, and he comes back to the 6th, and then to the 4th fret of the 4th string. So we got this. I really had to listen to this, and I tried different things to see rhythmically what worked the best, and this is what I came up with. Now, Barbeque Bob, of course, like a lot of other country bluesmen, may have not followed any musical logic whatsoever and just done what he felt like doing. But when I listen to it and I try to time it out and even sing along with it, that's what I get on that bass riff. So we got open 6, open 5, open 6, 4th fret of the 4th string. And then we got this. So let's take that whole thing again. Wait, one more time. So he's going to do this twice. After he gets the open 6, then we get the open 5th, and then back to the 4th fret of the 4th string. So we got this. I don't know if I explained that right. Just watch what I'm doing. That's what I hear. Now there are some variations in that. At least one that I hear. And I think the variation is when he does this. And instead of going to the 4th fret of the 4th string, he's going to get the open 4. So the whole thing would sound like this. And then, once he gets the bass riff done, we got another lick on the 3rd string, 5th fret, slight bend, open 2nd string. So let's put the whole lick together so far slowly. And then I hear a couple quick downstrokes. So let's do that all together. And then one more stroke, add it in. Listen to the record, listen to the timing. So let's do that lick again slowly. Now when he does this, there are a couple other little variations, but we'll hold off on that. So throughout the tune, he's going to play that sequence or something, very similar to that over and over again. Now picking with the right hand, I know you can't see the right hand as well, but what I'm doing with that, I don't know how Barbeque Bob did it. I'm using the thumb for the bass parts. So when I do the thumb or the bass parts, that's all with my thumb. And whenever I do anything from the 3rd string down, I use my 1st finger on my right hand. any strumming, I'm using my thumb. That's just the way I tried a bunch of different ways doing it. Tried alternating the thumb and the first finger, and for me it just works better just using the thumb for the bass stuff. Anyway, so let's do that lick one more time. So he plays this, starts out with the slide lick a lot of times. So we're going to slide, I'm sliding from the 4th fret to the 7th fret. You can get all first string, but I think it sounds better getting first and second string. And then a downstroke, getting the open 5th string, and the rest of the open string. So we got this. And then we got this. And you listen to the record, you hear this. And he mixes this up, like the first, at the intro of the song, he holds this a little longer. Something like that. Kind of cool. So that part, I had to listen to it a lot, but I think I got it. So that is the first part of Barbecue Bob's Going Up the Country.